Can we have a big round of applause for our special guest this morning, James Arthur is here in the studio. Good morning, James Arthur.
Good morning.
Good morning, James Arthur.
Good morning.
Good morning, James Arthur.
Morning.
That's right. 3 James Arthurs in the studio this morning.
That sounded like 4.
And a blindfolded, there's only 3, a blindfolded Amanda Holden.
I feel like I'm on some kind of weird dating show.
All Amanda has to do is identify James Arthur. They're all called James Arthur, for real. All Amanda has to do is identify the pop star James Arthur, and whoever she picks, we will interview on the show this morning.
Fingers crossed. Okay, my first question goes to James Arthur, number 3. I believe that you recently starred in a Brazilian soap opera. What did you do and what was the name of it?
Yes, I did. And it was a very long name. I can't quite remember what it was called.
Suspicious. Did you play a character?
Yes.
Can you remember the name of the character?
James Arthur.
That person's got a very lovely voice. Whoever, he's very posh.
Okay, now the question.
Okay, this is to James Arthur, number 2. Talk me through the process that you kind of put yourself through when you are creating a new album.
Well, I go to a retreat and just spend time by myself and spend time reading and researching and listening to other musicians.
Okay, do you go to France to do that?
Maybe.
Okay. And my final question to James Arthur, number 1. What's the kind of craziest thing a fan has ever done with you in his presence? Its presence.
Well, the craziest thing we can say on the radio.
Yes, absolutely.
It's got to be send me a cake in the shape of my face with my face printed on it for me to eat.
So you ate your own face?
Of course.
Gosh.
Victoria Sponge, Amanda.
Do you know
Always.
what? I'm a Victoria Sponge girl or carrot cake. I would say yes to either.
Can I ask you a question? James Arthur, number 2, what do you listen to when you're on your retreat?
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Rock and
I've heard the
roll.
expression rock and roll for about the last 20 years.
Le rock and roll.
Whereabouts you? And remind me, when James Arthur number 2, where are you? Whereabouts you from?
Wales.
Jamie, I'm sorry. I don't know whether I'm allowed to do this, but I'm going to be I've got to feel people.
Oh, have a little feel of.
Can I feel like
you can
going off
have a
mic?
feel of James
I don't
Arthur
know
number
how.
3.
It's my lucky day.
There you go. Careful. Mind out. That's his eye.
Oh, no. This...
Go and have a little feel of it. Go round. Can someone help Amanda round so she can have a
Let
little.
me feel the thing.
Go and have a. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh my
Mind
God,
out.
it's like
Hands
my
higher!
hands.
For goodness sake! Not that! Goodness me!
Sorry.
I apologise, James Arthur number 2.
This feels more like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
That's Beardy. Okay.
That's okay, I would say no to that. He's got a bigger slap head than me.
Apologise, James Arthur number 2.
Yeah,
That's James Arthur number 1. You got your hands on there.
I've got to do.
Does he feel nice?
Yes.
Okay, come
This
and.
is not. That is.
That's not
right, I know
okay.
who it is.
All right. Okay. So we have an answer. Will you, Amanda? We're just going to walk Amanda back to her microphone. Amanda, who do you think is the
It's
real?
this. It's this. It's this.
It is James Arthur, number 1. Is the right answer. Congratulations, Amanda. You can remove your blindfold. There is James Arthur number 1. Can I just quickly thank James Arthur number 1 and James Arthur number 2? Thank you, James. Intriguingly, James Arthur number 1, his name was James Andrew Arthur, and I believe that is your full name.
That's my full name, yeah.
So not only was he a James Arthur, he was a full James Andrew.
yeah.
Andrew
It's
Arthur.
the real deal, yeah.
How was it nice for you to meet your namesakes there this morning?
Not at all. It was weird.
I have to say, Jamie, if I hadn't felt them and squeezed them,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Because you did put on an accent.
Yeah, I did.
The
I
real
tried to throw
James
you off
Arthur.
with the
You
standard
did.
RP, yeah.
What was it
Because
like?
you know, I know he's from Middlesbrough, so I know he's got an accent.
What was it like getting squeezed from Amanda before 8:30
I
in
have
the
to say,
morning?
you've got very tense shoulders, James.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's because I knew I was coming in to see you.
Oh!
So yeah, the new album out October
18th.
next month. Yeah.
Yeah, 18th.
It's called You. It's your third album.
Yeah.
Who or what is the inspiration behind it?
Well, the last album was Back from the Edge, and that was quite a autobiographical
Yeah.
album. It was quite self-indulgent, and Say You Won't Let Go was the most successful record from that album, and it was very different to everything else on the album in the respect that it was inspired by other people, and it was a relatable story about falling in love and stuff like that. So I kind of approached this album with the same mindset that I did with that song, and just kind of was inspired by other people. And all the songs are made to feel like they can belong to you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that you do spend a lot of time, you connect quite a lot with your Twitter followers.
Yeah.
So do you kind of, not collaborate, but do you kind of include them in the development of anything that you're doing?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with seeing the reaction of fans and what they like, and when we do shows, I take note of what they're really moved by, and that's helped me in this process. I've been kind of I've had them in mind a lot more, and I can see from what they're saying on social media what they like and what they don't like.
Do you take much notice of social media? Because it can be a force for good and bad, I guess.
I used to fire back at everyone as well. I used to clap back at everyone who said stuff to me, negative stuff to me. But now I kind of pity those people that do that. I just sort of look at it like
Cowards on keyboards.
Yeah, keyboard warriors. I just sort of ignore that and try and look at the positive. I do still, clap back to the odd one just because it's fun.
It's fun.
I'm not above stooping down to that level sometimes. At all.
I mean, you've been very honest about talking about your anxiety and mental health in the past and now. How important do you think it is to kind of be that honest and talk to people and make people realise that it is a human thing and people like you suffer from it?
Absolutely. I think it's just part of growing up is the best lesson you can learn is just to know yourself and be happy with who you are and be yourself, and don't kind of try and be anything else because you get found out. And that helped me get over my sort of mental health issues or at least ease them and make them less crippling for me. So that's kind of what I'm trying to preach. And I think it's important. People in the public eye who suffer with that stuff, we've got a responsibility to help others.
I read an interview Lewis Capaldi he gave yesterday, and he said, and I quote, he said about his fame, he said, you can't accept it as normality at all. He says, you have to say it's very weird, and it is going to be for at least a couple of years. It's not going to last long, so enjoy it whilst you can. Would you go along with what?
Mick Jagger said the same thing, I think,
Right.
90 years ago.
I'd definitely go along with that. And Lewis Capaldi's someone who's blown up really quickly as well, and I can relate to that. And it does take a couple of years to adapt and to sort of get over the whole, like, you're walking through a supermarket and someone taps you on the shoulder and asks for a picture, and you're having dinner and someone sort of comes over and interrupts, and you have to sort of it's a weird thing to adapt to, for sure. But you do eventually, like anything. The more you do it, the more you kind of get used to it.
Well, you've got the new album. You're touring the new album as well. Those shows start when? In October?
3rd of October, I think. It starts in Middlesbrough, my hometown, up the borough.
So are you going to do it in like the school hall, the PE hall?
It's not far off the Empire we're doing that. It's pretty rock and roll.
James Arthur, how about that? Our special guest this morning. James,
Thank you very
in.
much.
Thanks for coming in.
This is Heart.